So you guys meet Mac, short for Macklemore. Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome to the vlog. I hope the start of your day is absolutely amazing. We're still here in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada for the morning, but we're just gonna head down to the falls really quick. We just want to do that behind the falls tour really quick. That way, I guess you go down in some tunnels, you see the falls in a different perspective, and then you actually get behind the falls, which I think would be pretty cool. I mean, we can't come all this way and not do that, right? So me and Laura are gonna just pack up, we're gonna head down there, we're gonna spend just a few minutes hanging out, then we're gonna get our car and we're gonna drive home, get back across the border, get back to the shop today because I've got some animal work and I'll show you guys some animals because I know you guys are probably missing them. Let's get this day started. Thank you. So we are in the tunnels beneath the falls right now, so it's going to be pretty cool. That's pretty wicked. So we're actually going to head behind the falls now, but that was really cool inside, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty close.
That's pretty awesome. So guys, this is legitimately behind the waterfalls right here. So what you're seeing there is actually the waterfall. Holy cow, it is loud. Wow, that's crazy. Oh my God. Can I jump over it? Woo!
You could probably survive that. Maybe.
I think I could jump over. I think I could jump over this and go into the falls, no problem. I should do it. Do it. Yeah. Let's do it together.
No, that's not gonna happen.
That's crazy. That is so much power. One last view of the falls before we head out. I know you guys are probably getting bored with this by now, but I tell you what, being here, it's spectacular. It's almost mesmerizing, to be honest with you. And that concludes our visit to Niagara Falls. Heading back to the hotel, packing up and getting on the road. All right, so we're packing up and getting on the road. I tell you, I stay in a lot of hotels. The one thing you've got to always do is double check. You don't want to leave phone cords. You don't want to leave any of your chargers for anything because those are the things that typically get left behind. So I always give it one quick final look around, and when I get everything packed, I do one last final check again just to make packed up, getting on the road. We've got about a 4-hour drive to the border, and then I'm going to head over to the shop and do a little bit of snake work if you guys don't mind. One thing you can always count on when you're in Canada is a lot of wind turbines. Now, I applaud them for their green energy. I think it's amazing. But there's something about wind turbines that just freak me out. They just scare me. I don't like being around them. So, let me know. I know Lori always laughs at me every single time.
Just another thing that you're scared of.
I know I have a lot of crazy fears. But, let me know down in the comments if I'm just a complete weirdo. Does anyone else fear wind turbines? Because I think there's something about them that just freaks me out. But I do applaud their green energy, so way to go, Canada. We're less than 10 miles from the border to get across to the US, and I tell you what, no matter how many times I travel in and out of the country, which is a lot, by the way, I always get a little nervous when I hit the border because, I always think in my head, like, what if they don't let me back in? I don't know what it is, it's just about the border patrol people. They're always just so, that make everyone feel like you're criminals, so I always get really intimidated, and as a matter of fact, that's why Lori is driving, is because Lori literally doesn't let me drive when I go into the border because she knows I get all nervous, and normally we get stopped because I say something stupid. So her instruction to me is always just sit there and say nothing. It's true.
It's true.
So I just stare forward and I don't say anything whatsoever. And even when they talk to me, I just ignore them. Per Lori's advice.
That is not what I said.
You said do not talk.
Short, concise answers. That's it. No stories, no blabbing on about stuff. Just one word, easy answers. That's the key to getting through quickly.
Yeah, and I'm the best at one word, not blabbing on. So, yeah. So, there we go, 10 minutes. Hopefully we get past the border and get back into the United States. We are back in America. Well, I guess we were in America and Canada too, North America, but we are back in the United States, and that could not have went better. I mean, literally, we rolled up. Every time I'm worried, we rolled up. He said, "What are you doing there, Niagara?" All right, you have a good day, and sent us right along. So, and I didn't even have to say a word.
No, you didn't. That was perfect. That's why it went so smooth.
That's why it went so smooth. So there we are, back in America. So we are heading home, and then I'm heading to the shop. So it is so good to be back here at the shop. You know, taking a trip is always awesome. You know, it regenerates your kind of enthusiasm for things. And you know, I always love to be surrounded by wildlife and animals, but every now and then a day away from animals just kind of reignites my passion for them. So when I'm away for a day, I kind of can't wait to get back and see my animals and spend time with my animals and other people's animals for that matter. So anyways, I'm going to spend some time just kind of running around today, making sure everything was okay with me being gone for a day or so. Of course, I'll check all my usual suspects. I got to look at Snoop Frog here. He's looking fine. And of course, I'm going to check Bella. Hey, Bella. What's going on, girl? You want to run around for a little bit? Hey, sweetheart. Hi. Look, she wants to come out. She says, yes, I want to come out. Oh, yes. Okay, girl, come on. Come on. And I'll just let Bella run around for the next hour or so. You know, she loves to be on the ground and she loves to run around. She doesn't get into too much trouble, but you do have to keep a little eye because she likes to pull things down. She'll be completely fine. Bella, you gonna have a good time for me? Yes, you be good. You be good. I'll be back. And of course, we'll check Carmel real quick. We'll give him a little bit of a spray down real quick just to get him a little bit more hydrated. We actually, unfortunately, don't have a misting system for him now because the stupid misting system that we bought, now 3 of them from ZooMed, they've all broke within about a month and a half to 2 months. So we have a new misting system coming from Reptile Basics that should be here tomorrow, the next day at the latest. So now we have to manually spray Karma 2 or 3 times a day, which is just a pain in the butt. But seeing as that wasn't here, Crystal was here spraying him a couple times yesterday, but I'm gonna definitely get him rehydrated because he looks a little bit dried out. Definitely, when you keep a chameleon, a misting system is so nice because they can dehydrate really quickly and you gotta keep them nice and hydrated. Again, I never like to bash anyone's equipment, but I had a really bad experience with the ZooMed mister just because they kept breaking. And you know, to throw $125 away every month and a half to buy a new one, that's just, you know, something that most people can't do, and it's a little ridiculous. So hopefully they'll fix that. Regardless, I've heard great things about the Reptile Basic misting system and that they're absolutely, when it comes in, I'll give you guys a quick review and we'll set it up and see how it goes. Anyways, off to check other things. Going through these colubrids is so exciting. I miss so many of them. I mean, every time I'm opening up a cage, I'm like, oh my God, I missed you so much during hibernation. So I am so jazzed to be back at colubrids right now. I'm just gonna show you a couple of ones. Look at this plasma corn. This is actually a blood red or a diffused lavender corn snake. I mean, that is just a gorgeous snake. For whatever reason, I really love hypo lavenders. I love lavenders and I love diffused lavenders. I mean, they are just absolutely beautiful. As a matter of fact, speaking of a hypo lavender, this is actually a hypo lavender crimson. Take a look at that. So again, that's a hypo, it's a lavender with their both recessive mutations, and then the crimson is actually a locality. And then take a look at, this has always been one of my favorite corn snakes. This, of course, is a coral ghost corn snake. And you guys know that I love working with that really pink line of snow corn. Well, this is the same thing where it's just basically the pink line of ghost corn. Same thing, polygenically bred for each generation, just holding back the pinkest animals possible. And my gosh, is that thing just incredible. I tell you what, guys, I am so excited. I get to work with these snakes almost every single day now. We feed them a bunch, we breed them every single day, and before long, we're gonna get gravid snakes and eggs and then babies, and it's gonna be be incredible. I am so excited. Again, it's like I inherited a new collection of snakes, and that happens every single year this time. So I am jazzed, and I can't wait to bring you guys along on the process of breeding colubrids for the very first time on this vlog. I've got to just check the carpet pythons because the crew fed them yesterday, and I just got to make sure they were all fed frozen. We just got to go back through and make sure that they ate them and see what it is. Look at how beautiful some of these carpet pythons are. Still looking good. Here's Loves to Nip. Hey, Loves to Nip, did you eat? Yep, even with Loves to Nip being in shed, it ate, so that's fantastic. Look at that guy. Carpet pythons are truly amazing animals. They're just so breathtaking. They're really gorgeous. Take a look at this guy here. This is actually a Brettles jaguar. So again, that's the Brettles, the Centralian carpet bred to a jaguar. And this is actually a 75%. So that's a gorgeous snake right there. Oh. Carpet pythons are such incredible snakes. Look at how gorgeous this one is right here. That's actually a het albino Darwin's carpet python. So it's all good, man. Every single snake ate, which is fantastic. But I still have to check up some ball pythons and a few other snakes really quick before I move on. And I'll check everything else too as I'm going. Oh, and speaking of carpet pythons, this girl ovulated the other day. So looks like we got some baby jungles coming. Look at this girl, she's all full of eggs. So this is one of the first ovulations of the year as far as pythons. We've had a few ball pythons ovulate so far, but carpet pythons lay a little bit earlier. They usually about 20 or 21 days after shed, whereas ball pythons are more like 30 days after. So this could very well be our first clutch of python eggs of the year. How exciting is that? You know a snake that I don't know that I've showed you guys in a long time. So for you guys that are new to the vlog, you may never have seen this snake. This is actually my ivory ball python, and his name is Tusk. And obviously his name is Tusk because he's an ivory ball python. But this is a snake that I often take to educational shows for kids too, because number one, it's really a stunning snake, really beautiful with that beautiful white color, but it's also extremely placid and a pretty good sized animal too. For a male, he's probably a little bigger than most of my males. I typically like to keep male ball pythons between 700 and 1,000 grams, and Tusk here is probably about 1,700 grams. So he's a little chunker for a male. Doesn't do a whole lot of breeding, to be totally honest with you, but nevertheless, he's a cool animal, and I just thought I'd share it with you. We also fed Titan, the titanium, and he certainly ate. You can see he's starting to go blue too, and he is taming down a lot. I mean, the girls down here, Andrea and Kelsey, are working with Titan a lot because, of course, we want him to be a really tame reticulated python, and he is really starting to tame out. Again, when he first comes out, he gets a little bitey, but after that, he is really getting good. So the girls are doing a great job. Oh, and by the way, don't think that I forgot to tell you what I named my Mr. Macklot's pythons. You guys killed it with the name suggestions, and trust me, guys, there were a ton of names that I really loved that I was like, oh, I should go with that one. But ultimately, the most common and most certainly commented on was Mac. But it's not gonna just be Mac, to be honest with you. Although, you know, one I really liked and I was leaning toward was Big Mac. I thought Big Mac was absolutely hilarious. But in the end, I'm gonna call him Macklemore because, in short, we'll call him Mac. And I just figured because we have Fetty Wap and we now have Snoop Frog, we gotta have Macklemore, right? So you guys meet Mac, short for Macklemore. Of course, I gotta check on RJ. Hey RJ, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing? Looking good, sweetheart. Oh, and by the way, a lot of people commented on a vlog a couple days ago about that maybe RJ was sick because he was blowing bubbles out of his eyes. Now, I'm going to address that, obviously. Crocodilians actually can, as a matter of fact, it used to be called, tears of remorse, when crocodiles would actually cry because they were eating people and they were sad about that. But that's just a complete myth. The thing is that, believe it or not, crocodilians, alligators included, can actually blow air through their sinuses into their tear ducts, which ultimately cause a frothing or bubbling when they start to hiss or eat or sometimes like that. Again, used to be thought that they were crying because they were sad about the prey they were eating, and actually it has nothing to do with that whatsoever. So crocodiles are pretty wild that they can actually bubble through their eyes. So don't worry, nothing nothing is wrong with RJ. It's just a crocodilian thing, and that happens when he's hissing a little bit. He's 100% fine. It's also exciting to be breeding the Savu pythons again. It's been a couple years since we produced, for whatever reason, a female. We have 2 females, but the one female last year produced big follicles, and it looked like she was going to produce, and then she just sucked them back up and didn't have any eggs. So it was a little bit disappointing. But Savus are so beautiful, and when they're babies, they're really this red color. I mean, I tell you what, they are unbelievably cool animals, and something you don't see very often. I'm also pretty excited about these guys, all the spotted and children's pythons that we have. We have a pretty good group of, like I said, both spotted and children's pythons. And just for a small python, for someone that wants an animal that's not as thick and big as a ball python, you know, spotted pythons are a great kind of alternative. So regardless, excited about some other python projects as well, and we're just getting started breeding stuff like the rainbow boas, Colombians and Brazilians, tree boas and stuff like that. So again, great time to be a snake breeder. You know, it's a continued bond building experience with Bella. She's been with us for a couple weeks now, but she's still getting used to us. And what I want to do is be able to let her run around quite a bit. And then when I come up to her, I want her to be happy so that really she's never afraid of anybody. But it does take time. And we do things like giving her treats like bananas. And listen, fruit should only be about 10% of their diet. But we'll do things like reinforce, like as we walk up to her, we'll give her a banana. And then in her head, she's thinking, all right, these people aren't going to hurt us. And then, you know, we're starting to get to a point where when I can come up on her like this, she immediately thinks she's going to get petted. See that? And she raises herself up and she just loves the petting, see? And that's the bond that I'm hoping to get with her, so that she'll just be completely docile and never fear us, you know? So she is just a great animal, and something I tell you, I've been keeping reptiles for a long time, and I have never felt the bond with any reptile like I'm starting to feel with Bella. I mean, she is literally like a little dinosaur, but also more like a dog than a reptile. I mean, she recognizes people, she loves the attention, she's just a great animal all around, and I cannot wait until she gets more comfortable and I can start taking her around to kids for like an animal ambassador. But I'm not ready for that yet, because I'm afraid if I start taking her around or moving her around, she might get a little bit afraid, and I still have to build that bond a little bit. So probably another 4, maybe 6 weeks, maybe even a couple months, who knows. But however long it takes. But I'm going to continue to build that bond, make sure she understands I'm not going to hurt her, I'm not going to do anything bad to her, so that she's completely good with us. Right, Bella? Right, girl? Oh, you like that, don't you? You like those pets right there, don't you? Yes, girl, you're such a good girl. Say goodbye to everybody. Bye. Alright, so I'm gonna button things here up at the shop. Although I've only been here for a couple hours, I did start the day really early this morning, all the way in Niagara Falls, so it's been a long day already. So I'm gonna wrap things up, everything looks good, and I'm happy with the way things fared while I was gone. But I'm gonna go home and either relax or talk Laura into going to the movies. I've been dying to see the movie Kong, so maybe I'll talk Laura into going to the movies. If not, we actually have that movie Patriots Day with Mark Wahlberg that looks really good that we can watch at home. Either way, I'm gonna check out a movie, but I'm out of here. So Lori decided we should just stay home tonight, which is probably the good idea. I mean, we've been running around like crazy the last couple days, so to have a relaxing evening was really cool. And we just got done watching Patriots Day, which is a great movie, by the way. That's the one about the Boston bombing with Mark Wahlberg. I mean, I highly suggest it. A great movie. Had a really good time. We're gonna just shut it down and end the vlog right now. Kind of end the crazy travel, which was really a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments how you felt about that Niagara thing. I know there wasn't animals there, but I really thought it was still a really cool adventure, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, I always say that the vlog can't always be about animals, because, you know, my life is more than just animals. Yeah, it's majority animals, but there's a lot of other things that I love doing in life, and I want to be able to bring you guys on every journey without having to feel the pressure of, oh, I have to somehow include animals into it, because then it's not really my real life, which is what a vlog is supposed to be. Regardless, I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in each day. Your support just means the world to me, and I love you guys so much. Can you please smash that like button and hit that notification bell for me? Make sure to be kind to somebody. I promise I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.